Hi Saber fan, Scarecrow here. Got a little something different for you today. Instead of a lightsaber, I've got the Thermal Detonator from Return of the Jedi. Uh, Now, this was seen in Jabba's throne room. It was used as a negotiating tool when Boss was dressed up as Leia and asking for the reward on Chewbacca. You probably remember the 50,000 no less, and that's why. And this is an amazing little prop. I'm in love with it. It's made by KR Sabers out of the UK. It's very well made. It's nickel-plated brass, very heavy. In fact, you should probably warn people when you hand it to them. I can see somebody dropping this just by accident. It's very detailed down to the trim rings inside here. I mean, really didn't miss anything. The Panther track on the top, slide switch. Obviously, they don't come like this. They come looking new. This one's weathered. Uh, in fact, I think I got about 8 in so far, and I've only seen one that even had scratches on it, which is kind of hard to do because, like I said, this plating is very, very thick. It's well made. Really impressed. For the electronics, there's a Plecter Labs Thermal Detonator V3 board inside of it. It's got a 3.7 volt LiPo battery with a USB recharge protection circuit on it. 28mm bass speaker, and last but not least, a very detailed chassis by Goth3 Designs. I mean, check this out. Holds everything beautifully. Everything on this is easy access. This is your USB recharge, and it's got a light that shines through here. Goes red on recharge, blue on full charge. This is your power indicator LED, your auxiliary switch for changing sound fonts, your on-off switch for cutting your main power, your SD card access, all right here. Very easy. This board goes into a deep sleep mode rather quick too, so it's not super important that you turn it off unless you're not going to be using it for a really long time. But like I said, this just really adds to it, makes it look like so much more. Like I said, I did weather this prop, and I weathered the inside as well. This came from Shapeways, very shiny, very new, so I handled it a lot. Then I went and tried to wear off some of the plating on the edges, and then I gave it a black wash along with some paint in here. The outside process is a mixture of everything from hammers and 2500 grit steel or sandpaper to just washes and paint and aluminum black and you name it. So, like I said, I wanted to keep the inside looking a little weathered as well. Didn't think it would match up quite right if you got one that's brand new and the other that's not. So, and putting these things together is excellent. These are spring-loaded grub screws here, and these screws are used as rails for the inside. And I went ahead and put some super lube on all the metal-to-metal surfaces and on the springs and everything. And also on the inside, I reinforce all of this with epoxy because we know how difficult it can be getting a micro USB in and out sometimes. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to cut loose, so I found a perfect spot for epoxy reinforcement up in here and to secure the battery, things like that. It also took me a good bit of time to figure out how I wanted to do the wiring on these. There's a switch that moves, a lot of open space, but you have to make sure that nothing interferes. So I ended up joining the grounds on all the LEDs into one, feeding it off this side for this LED. Everything here is cut as short as is humanly possible. Most of the board was soldered in place here. Made things a little difficult, but worked out well. So yeah, when you have to put this thing together, couldn't be easier, seriously. Yeah, these two teeth, the small teeth are the front, just kind of kick it over to the left a little bit, little push, twist, and it is locked in there. Doesn't move, there's no rattle, there's no nothing. A year from now, I don't know, probably need some adjustment. I tried to thread lock everything down I could, but I didn't use the heavy stuff, just in case it needs to be serviced in the future. It's not good to use something that you can't get out. So, other than that, I will be doing a bunch of these. If anybody's interested, feel free to reach out to me. I'm offering the weathering and install course, things like that. But if you have a chance to pick one of these up, I would highly suggest it. Like I said, kick it on. It's got 3 different fonts on it. This one's interactive, so you can give it a spin, it'll speed up, and then hit it. You get an explosion sound. The other two fonts are more static, just trying to keep the feel of the original prop. The third font does have some quotes on it, on power down and power up, things like that. But these are excellent. They're so much fun. Really fun to build. Just I enjoy weathering a lot. So I would recommend these to anybody. And like I said, if you need one built, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks so much.